Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Dragon Ball Z Attack of the Saiyans playthrough. I'm your host, Zealous Zombie, and we're beginning this shit. Let's do it. Now, this is a very different Dragon Ball Z game, because it's a turn-based RPG, which is insanely different from the usual fighting game or action-adventure type title that we're used to. The RPG genre hasn't really been seen in the Dragon Ball Z series since the Gokuden series on the Nintendo Entertainment System back in the late 80s and early 90s. So this is quite refreshing. Dragon Ball Z Attack of the Saiyans is a turn-based RPG that invokes a lot of the classic Super Nintendo tropes. In many ways, it's a return to a classic type of formula, and it feels very grounded in that notion, as many Nintendo DS titles did. It feels very Chrono Trigger, very Final Fantasy VI or Terranigma or what have you, those types of games. While retaining, the anime flair of Dragon Ball Z that everyone loves. Hey guys, do you remember Lunch? Remember her? No, I thought not. She was kind of a throwaway character. She was important in Dragon Ball, and then in Z, Toriyama went senile and just forgot about her. I think she shows up once in the Boo Saga, in a bar or something, trying to hold up the joint, and she was drinking alcohol. She was meant to be Tien's love interest, but Toriyama was like, Tien's really boring, so no, that's not happening. But yeah, we're going on a quest with Master Roshi, and by with I mean for a crystal ball of some kind. It doesn't really matter. It's a MacGuffin for tutorial purposes. So here's our party. We have Krillin, Yamcha, and Tien. So basically, we're fucked. No, that's mean. But there was once a time where human characters were legitimately effective in Dragon Ball history, before Z came and ruined everything. I'm kidding, of course. Who could hate Z? We all love Z here. It's just that the original Dragon Ball was better. Deal with it, nerds. I'm just kidding. I'm just being a unique contrarian for all of you. They're both great. Let's just love them both. But yeah, triple threat, Yamcha, Krillin, and Tien. Now, there's a whole debate in the Dragon Ball fandom as to who's the strongest human. Some might say Mr. Satan, or Videl, or Yajirobe. God forbid, Oob. But we all know that the top two comes down to Krillin and Tien. Who's the strongest human? I don't know. Except I do know it's Tien. Deal with it. Reason 1, he's got a nose. Reason 2, he ain't short. How can you top that? I mean, those are pretty good reasons. Also, he has Tri-Beam. Really killer move. It hurts him. He has to put his body on the line. He commits to that move. Destructo Disc? Pfft. Come on, man. Alright, well, Destructo Disc ain't all that bad. It did hurt Frieza. I'll give that to Krillin. I'm not going to pretend that there isn't arguments for Krillin. But Tien, man, he held down Semi-Perfect Cell. How do you do that? I don't know. He found a way. Held him down for a minute. Or something like that. That's insane. He was going to die. Anyway, this is our first tutorial section of the game. It's a mini dungeon. You often see this trope repeated a lot of times. I previously have played The Legend of Heroes recently. It came out on Steam, and it had the exact same structure. I found it kind of jarring how many JRPGs kind of repeat this. But anyway, this is the main combat system. It's turn-based, as I said before, and combat essentially implements regular punches and kicks, which is a basic attack move. Think of it like Tackle in Pokemon. And then there's key attacks. Now, key attacks are governed by key points, as you would think. And they are both physical, energy, support, and other based. So, for instance, a Kamehameha wave attack would be governed with your key points. Now, you want to conserve your key points as much as you possibly can so that you can deal damage at the appropriate times. There's also a defense maneuver, but you don't really need to worry about that at this stage. It's it's pretty superfluous in the grand scheme of things. Anyway, like a lot of other JRPGs, sneak attacks, preemptive strikes often come to the equation. It feels a little bit random in this game because you can't see enemies in the actual overworld, which is a little unsettling. The element of randomness just, really gets my goat, if I'm going to be honest. And here's Yamcha. Man, Wolf Fang Fist. Remember that move? Yamcha, Yamcha, Yamcha. What am I gonna do with you? Now, there's a luck stat in this game. Yamcha is going to have 2 for the entire game because he sucks. And he's really unlucky. Bulma was right to dump him. Nice guys, or in this case, terrible, ineffective losers, finish last. I should know, I'm doing commentary over video games for the internet. Triple level up. This is how we start the game. Okay, solid start. Now, I'm going to talk about character builds for a minute, because I know all you peeps out there are into min-maxing strategies. That's how we do. That's how we play RPGs. I'm just kidding. I'm not exactly perfect when it comes to builds, but I'm trying to keep things balanced. Krillin is going to be a support type character. Now, you want him to go in quick, deal some damage, get out, and survive. So, recovery and technique and luck are actually pretty important skills. I would say speed as well are pretty nice. Yamcha is... You want him to be effective strength-wise. He's got Wolf Fang Fist. He's got some cool combos that you can use. He's a physical character and he's pretty fast. I would say focus on those. He doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. I've said that a lot, but Goku pretty much replaces him. He's not very good, and he's gonna die. You've all seen Dragon Ball Z. You all know Yamcha sucks. I don't have to explain it to you. I'm just telling you how you can make the best of him. But yeah, I mean, he's not terrible at this stage in the game. He can deal some damage, he can get in there and be a strength type character. Now, Tien is a little bit more interesting. And by interesting, I mean conservative. Because I've tried to build him as a more defensive character. He can take a hit, he can build up ki, and he can deal some technical damage, I think. Which is pretty good. Tien's upgrade, as you will, upgrade character is Piccolo. He's a light Piccolo, if I'm going to be honest. Because Piccolo is just better than him in all regards. But at this stage, keep it like this. Shouldn't have too much trouble. It's fairly balanced. Don't worry about it too much. But these desert girls, do worry about them because they're hard to hit for some reason. Now, you're going to have to forgive me in the early parts of the game because I'm not very good. There are lots of little things in the combat that I just hadn't really come to grips with. It's been a couple of years since I played this game, so I had to relearn the idea of the active guard system. The active guard system, similar to the Paper Mario and Mario and Luigi RPG games, makes you more active in the battle because you can inhibit some of the damage you take by pressing one of the face buttons at a specific time. It's pretty vital for boss fights if you hope to survive against some of the tougher ones. There's a secret boss very, very far into the game that you cannot beat without learning your time guards. And the time guards are very important because they allow you to gauge enemies a little bit more interesting, You have to learn their attack patterns. You have to be quick on your feet. It means that you're active, literally, Anyway, right here we see a little bit of puzzle solving in very, very, very loose quotation marks in the overworld. You can go to chests and you can find stuff. It's pretty great. We all love those goodies, don't we? It wouldn't be an RPG without them. Here's a different type of thing that we have to deal with. Different enemies are going to be vulnerable to different types of attacks, much like every RPG ever made. Now, spirits, or ghosts, are not going to respond to physical attacks. Or not going to respond well, at the very least. So, you have to kind of gauge what kind of moves are going to be effective on who. Now, a swift Kamehameha wave to the face will do quite well, or a tri-beam. or what have you. But a physical attack, not so much. I probably should have demonstrated it, but, you know, I need to make quick work of these guys if we want to get to the main meat of this game. And there is meat, you know. There is a game past this tutorial cave section. And onward we go. Let's find some goodies. Small beans. Small beans are referring to senzu beans. So, in the items in this game, health and key restoration, pretty basic stuff. You know, there's not really much to explain. You can use them in battle and out of battle. I have to say, the animations in this game are really, really fluid and fast-paced. They have a lot of visceral punch to them. And I really commend Monolith Soft for really going all out on it. And the sprite work as well, I will commend. They retain that, I would say the nature of Dragon Ball. It looks very cartoony, it looks very light. But it has that Dragon Ball Z edge, if that makes sense. It has a little bit more flair to it that I find appealing. And the background art as well. I mean, it looks amazing, I think. Some of it just looks beautiful. Now, this isn't a really great example because there's a lot of browns and it looks kind of drab because we're in a cave. But later in the game, you'll see really amazing artwork. You know, there's so much effort put into this game, and you really wouldn't expect it because so many Dragon Ball Z games are really quite average, and there isn't a lot of thought put into them, especially nowadays. They just seem like quick cash grabs. But hey, you know, what do I know? It's a shame that this game didn't sell well either. I was looking forward to a sequel. A sequel would have been great. There was talks for, you know, a continuation throughout the Frieza saga, which in my opinion is one of the worst sagas of Dragon Ball Z history, but that's just me. Hashtag controversy. But that would have been interesting to see at the very least. And there's a lot more, you know, continuing story in the Namek saga to take advantage of. And it's a new environment, and you know, there's so many things that you can do. And it just seems unexplored at this point. You know, I'm not sure how this game sold. I'm gonna guess it was about 100,000, maybe 200,000, if you're lucky. I heard it was more popular in Japan. As you would expect, these types of games do better in the local market. The developer of this game, as I referred to before, is Monolith Soft. Now, you may know Monolith Soft as the main developer behind the Xeno series. Now, that refers to Xenogears for the PlayStation 1 in 1998. Great game. Fantastic, actually. A little bit word-heavy, dialogue-heavy, and it was cut down severely. There was a lot of development issues. It was being co-developed along with Final Fantasy VIII, and the teams were very mixed and separated. In many ways, it's a flawed and fractured game, but my god, if it isn't brilliant, I think. The combat system in Xenogears is so great, and it reminds me a lot of this game, actually, because it has a lot of visceral punch to it. It's martial arts based as well, and it feels active and real-time, which is so cool. Now, Xenosaga, I haven't played. I've heard very mixed things about it. The first game is apparently good. The second game, apparently everyone hates. And the third game is like a return to form, I've heard. I'm not really sure. I've heard that it's very, very anime. Which is a good and bad thing. For me, it's a bad thing. Anime melodrama only gets me so far, really. Some of it I just can't take. Kingdom Hearts, sure. But that's about the extent. If I'm going to be completely blunt with you and antagonize you. Speaking of anime though, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Man, I watch that show because damn if that ain't some fun. And Kill la Kill, watch Kill la Kill. Great stuff. And I'm poisoned. I guess I can briefly explain the status effects. It's your basic stuff. There's poison. I believe there's darkness. which means that you have trouble hitting the enemy. And paralysis, I believe, and sleep are some. There are items that can delay the effects of these. But, yeah, they're not too much of an issue. You can equip items later on that can pretty much nullify any of those types of effects. So it's not that important. If it does happen, then do as I do here. Consume one of many items available at your disposal. Poison recovery, darkness recovery, what have you. And you're well on your way. Monolith Soft also created Xenoblade Chronicles. Wow. What a great game. That's a fantastic game. If you haven't played Xenoblade Chronicles, you should play it. I don't think it's quite as good as Xenogears. Then again, what can be good as Xenogears? The OST in Xenoblade Chronicles is outstanding. I think the graphics are great. It's the best RPG on the Wii by far. And I would pick it up now because if you don't, in 5 years, the price is going to go through the roof. You know, there were only so many copies made of that game. And now they're making us like a sort of sequel to it, Xenoblade Chronicles X, for the Wii U next year. That looks cash. I'm definitely going to get that. Anyway, Bulma. Hey Bulma, how's it going? You know, Bulma is up there in my waifu tier list for Dragon Ball Z, I'm going to be honest. I mean, I'm personally more of a Videl fan, especially with the short hair, if you know what I mean. But hey, you know, different strokes for different anime folks, is what they say on the message boards. I am a sad, sad individual. But yeah, Videl, she's great. She can fly, and she's a human. That used to mean something. I remember when flying used to be a big deal. Now everyone can fly. It doesn't mean shit in Dragon Ball Z. And everyone's a Super Saiyan too. It sucks, man. It sucks. But yeah, we're gonna save. We're gonna get hyped for this boss fight because, damn it, it's someone we know. And you may or may not be familiar with this character, but I'm hype. Okay, and you're gonna see him in a minute. And you're just gonna go wild. I know I did. Who could it be? Who's trespassing? Oh my god. Let me see your face. I want to see your face. Wow. Holy shit. Jackie Chun? Are you fucked? That's right. That's right, guys. This is Jackie Chun. I mean Master Roshi. I mean Jackie Chun. I mean Jackie Chan? No, this is Jackie Chun. The Jackie Chun. If you're not familiar with Jackie Chun, just get the hell out of this playthrough. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you are Jackie Chun and you've gone senile and forgotten yourself. You need to leave. Jackie Chun was, if you're not familiar with him, was in Dragon Ball. This is Roshi's alias when he doesn't really want to be recognized in the tournaments. Now, this boss fight really is a joke. It's it's a pushover, if I'm gonna be quite frank. Simply due to the fact that it's a tutorial boss. You know, there's not much you can do to harm the player in this instance. I will say though, I don't do a very good, for lack of a better word, performance. I find it very bad, actually. I hold my own, I suppose. You can just spam your special moves, you can do basic attacks, you can defend, if that's your style. I would urge you, though, to be conservative with your ki. Because, as you see Yamcha down the bottom, and Krillin up the top, who are both sparking, we're going to initiate a sparking attack, which is what you really want to happen. That's kind of the main meat of the combat. Now, you're going to see a sparking attack in a minute, and I'm going to explain to you how that works, and... Oh, what's the matter? Can't beat me without using your active guard. I've been using that, old man, if you haven't been noticing. If you haven't been noticing, it's because I'm really bad at it at this stage, but this is a learning process. So anyway, I'm setting up a sparking attack with Krillin and Yamcha. Damn if this ain't some good animation. So hype. 187 damage? Of course. And goddamn, Roshi, you are swole, man. You are so swole. It's chest day every day for you at the gym. He doesn't care. Look, that's how base Jackie Chun is. But yeah, essentially the sparking attacks are pretty vital in boss fights and fights in general. You want to have your characters simultaneously sparking. You want 2 or more, and then you want to use a series of special moves to initiate a specific type of combo that will deal more damage than usual. That's kind of the gist of it. You will unlock more as the story progresses, and you unlock different skills and different moves and stuff like that. And many of them are character specific. So you'll get some with Goku and Piccolo specifically, or Goku and Krillin. I think there's a Gohan and Piccolo one. Stuff like that. But yeah, one tip I would give you in this boss fight is to do it with a bit of style. You know, experiment. This is the tutorial fight. You have some liberties. If you're not comfortable with a play style, reconsider it. And be conservative with your ki. I cannot emphasize that enough because I've run out. I run out in this fight, and it feels really anticlimactic. It always feels good when you finish a fight with a sparking combo. Gonna say that. But yeah, there's not too many attacks that can really harm you that Jackie Chun does. The one that you saw there, the Max Kamehameha move, is probably the only one that can possibly kill you. But even then, it's so predictable, and you should have the active guard down for that. If you don't, you kind of suck. You're worse than me. Which is really, really sad. But don't be disheartened. Yeah, you should have enough small beans and HP capsules that it doesn't really matter. That's all I can say. Anyway, I'm gonna move on from this fight and just talk about other stuff. I'm gonna talk about the new Dragon Ball Z game that's been announced called Dragon Ball Xenoverse. Not Dragon Ball Z Xenoverse, just Dragon Ball Xenoverse. I'm kind of interested in it. Now, this is going to be the first game on PS4, Xbox One. It's cross-gen, so it will be on the previous and current-gen platforms. I think it's a little bit different. It has some Battle of Z elements. It has some Tenkaichi elements. I'm quite interested in it. The graphics, I'm kind of on the fence on. The models look great, but the lighting just really annoys me. Everyone looks really shiny, and it looks like they're playing Sonic Heroes or something, because they look plastic toys. Not great. But hey, what do I know? I'm just some nerd on the internet. Who cares? I don't care. Apparently there's some fanfiction stuff going on, and it's like you can create your own OC. DeviantArt is going to have a field day with that. They're cutting into their business. How dare Bandai Namco do that? Also, Goku for Smash 4. We need Goku in Smash 4. I don't care if the roster's been leaked. Goku, make him DLC. Mario Kart 8 did it. There, that's news too. Mario Kart 8 DLC. I'm hype for that. Players Link, players Yellow Yoshi. It's all happening. And double level up for Yamcha. Everything is happening. Everything is happening. I always love that in Pokemon where you're like 10 levels below the gym leader and you have that type advantage and you decimate them. And then you beat that final Pokemon and you gain like 2 or 3 levels in a row. Man, that feels good. You know the feel. But yeah, Jackie Chan was a pushover. Doesn't matter. I must go now. My planet needs me at Planet Turtle House. Master Roshi's impressed with our skills though. I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty impressed with my skills too. So thanks Roshi, or Jackie Chan. Maybe you have dissociative personality disorder. Maybe you're actually Moon Knight. Or intense training sessions, right, because you just got ass-whooped, Master Roshi. Master Roshi is a bit underrated. I think his power level is around the 200 mark, which, if you actually pay attention to power levels, is pretty goddamn good. But yeah, Krillin, Tien, and Yamcha are just dumbfounded by all the happenings in the cave and, you know, Roshi's exposition. As if stranger things have never happened in Dragon Ball history. No, of course they haven't. But anyway, we're kind of coming to the end of this part right here. But I enjoyed it. I really had fun with you guys. I would say, thanks for listening. Tune into part 2. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.